You are not your emotions. You never were. But for most of your life, you've been trained to obey them, to treat every feeling like a command you must follow. You feel angry? You react. You feel anxious? You stop. You feel hurt? You withdraw. Every emotion pulls you like a string, and you move without awareness. That ends now. This chapter is about one truth. Emotions are messengers, not masters. They come to inform you, not to control you. They are signals, not steering wheels. When you forget that, you become a slave to every mood, every impulse, every passing storm in your head. But when you remember it, when you learn to feel without obeying, you take back your power. Let's start with this. You are not supposed to eliminate emotions. Detachment is not emotional numbness. It is emotional intelligence in motion. You still feel, but you don't feed. Say it aloud with me. Feel it, don't feed it. That's your mantra for this chapter. Anger will still rise. Fear will still visit. Sadness will still whisper. But you don't have to build a home for them. You don't have to let them live rent-free in your mind. Emotions are guests. You decide how long they stay. Think about this. When fire alarms go off, what do? They signal something's wrong. But you don't worship the alarm. You don't sit beside it crying about the noise. You act. Emotions work the same way. They alert you, but they are not the fire. When anger rises, it's a signal. Something feels unjust. When fear appears, it's a signal. Something feels unsafe. When sadness comes, it's a signal. Something meaningful was lost. Signals are useful, but only if you observe them, not obey them. That's emotional mastery. Here's the mistake most people make. They think emotional expression means emotional freedom. So they vent, they explode, they dump their feelings everywhere, thinking that's healthy. But expression without understanding is chaos. Let's be clear. You don't need to vent. You need to understand. You don't need to react. You need to respond. And there's a massive difference between the two. Reaction is emotional. Response is intentional. Reaction is fast. Response is wise. That's the difference between losing your power and keeping it. Here's your first exercise. It's simple, but powerful. When emotion hits, don't move. Don't talk. Don't post. Don't reply. Pause. Then write. Grab your phone or a piece of paper and write. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? Name the emotion. Label it before it labels you. Because the moment you name it, you separate yourself from it. You become the observer, not the prisoner. You're not angry. You're feeling anger. You're not sad. You're experiencing sadness. That difference, that single word gap, is freedom. You have a choice. Always. People who can't control their emotions live reactive lives. They make promises when they're excited, then break them when they're tired. They say things they regret because they wanted to win the moment, not the war. They trade their peace for attention, their focus for validation. You've done it. I've done it. Everyone has. But now, you're learning to stop. Why? Because every time you react without awareness, you train your mind to be your master. And every time you pause before reacting, you train your mind to obey you. That's the difference between chaos and control. Let's make it practical. Imagine someone insults you. They question your worth, your work, your path. Your first instinct? Defend. prove, argue. That's the emotional reflex. But now you know the rule. Feel it, don't feed it. So you feel the sting. You notice the heat, but you don't move. You let the moment pass like a wave hitting the shore, and as it passes, you see the truth. Their words had nothing to do with your worth. That's emotional detachment in action. You are no longer a puppet pulled by strings of insecurity or pride. You are a calm observer in a storm of noise. That calm is your weapon. Here's another truth. Strong people feel deeply, but act slowly. They don't deny emotion. They delay reaction. That's the formula. When emotion comes, breathe. 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. Ask yourself, what's the message here? What's this emotion trying to tell me? Then act from reason, not reaction. That's how you transform emotion into insight. You want to master focus? Then master feeling, because emotion is the #1 destroyer of focus. You can't concentrate if your energy is split between what you're doing and what you're feeling. Focus demands emotional distance. That doesn't mean apathy. It means awareness. It means you decide when emotion enters the room and when it leaves. That's real control. Not control over others, control over yourself. Remember this phrase. If you can control what you feel, you can control what you do. That's the law. The person who masters emotion masters execution. The person who reacts repeats mistakes. And the truth is, you will still get emotional. You're human. You'll still feel pain, anger, doubt. But the difference is, you'll stay centered. You won't spiral. You'll rise. Because emotion doesn't define you anymore. It only reminds you. So the next time a wave hits, a trigger, a conflict, a sudden anxiety, remember this process. 1. Pause. 2. Name it. 3. Write it. 4. Breathe through it. 5. Act only when calm. Simple, repeatable, powerful. That's emotional discipline. Every great leader, every top athlete, every Stoic philosopher lived by this. Marcus Aurelius wrote it in his journals. Epictetus taught it to his students. Modern champions live it daily. They feel the same emotions you do. They just don't let those emotions drive the car. You don't need to be emotionless. You need to be emotionally trained. That's the key. Because the world will always test you. It will always provoke you. But the one who stays composed wins. You have a choice, always. Final reminder. Emotions are energy. You can spend them recklessly or channel them intentionally. Turn anger into action. Turn fear into focus. Turn pain into progress. That's how you rise. Because detachment isn't distance from life, it's mastery within it. It's not about coldness, it's about clarity. It's not about emotionlessness, it's about emotional leadership. That's how you build a mind that obeys you. That's how you build unstoppable focus. You've learned how to feel without feeding, how to pause before reacting, how to let emotions serve you instead of enslave you. That's emotional mastery, the second pillar of detachment. But awareness is only the beginning. Now it's time to face the hidden enemy that steals your focus every day: stimulation. Next chapter: the trap of constant stimulation. Learn how the modern world keeps your mind weak and how to reclaim your attention before it's too late.